We turned $108 into $639 on eBay. Let's talk about what sold. What's going on, guys? My name's Sebastian. This is Resell Junkie. If you're new here, my wife and I sell used stuff online and we teach others how to do it. What we're talking about today is going to be what's sold over the past week or so, and what we paid for it, what it sold for, and why we bought it in the first place. Before we get into that, if this video does end up helping you, if you smash that like button, it really helps people actually see this video, and maybe one day it'll make us millionaires. That'll be great. If you're new here, if you like eBay and hustling, consider subscribing and let's become friends. So guys, real quick, the price listed on here may not be the price that it actually sold for. For whatever reason, eBay doesn't show best offers on this, so I will actually tell you what this item sold for. But jumping into item number one is this FedEx work jacket. This actually caused a little bit of controversy. Supposedly people think that if you're buying FedEx uniforms or UPS uniforms or any of that kind of stuff, you're automatically a thief or something like that. And yeah, some people on my channel said I shouldn't be selling it. Some people even said that they would go to the front desk of the thrift store and turn these items in for whatever reason. I get it. If you want to be paranoid, that's great. I'm not paranoid like you guys. I'm sorry if you are. That's just not the way I live my life. I assume that whoever bought this is a nice FedEx employee and they just want to stay warm because it is very cold outside. If you want to be negative and you want to think that everyone's out to get you or everyone's buying things for nefarious purposes just because it's a uniform and they're trying to impersonate FedEx employees to steal packages, that's great. That's your reality. I've sold these over the course of several years now and they sell really well. FedEx and UPS uniforms, they always sell fantastic. Just make sure they're in good shape. The pants, shirts, jackets especially will sell the best. Now, I did have several people tell me it's against the eBay rules. There's a lot of things that are against the eBay rules, but no one ever gets in trouble for them. So do with that as you will. I am not responsible for anything that happens with your account or with anything that you sell uniform related. So just make a note of that. Now this jacket I paid $8.34 for and it sold for $63.75. So that's a pretty nice profit. I'll take a chance that maybe I sold this to some package thief, but 99% sure that just some nice FedEx employee bought this. Moving on. This military jacket, we paid 20 bucks for this and it sold for $76. The issue with this was there was no sort of tag or label. I looked everywhere on it. I could not find any sort of markings besides this medium tag. Now I know this is a older style medium or size tag. I've seen this before. This jacket was really nothing like that rare or that special. It was just a basic kind of parka jacket. It was not in that great of condition. It was missing buttons. It had a lot of distressing. It had a lot of wear to it. But yeah, I mean, 20 bucks into 76. I think this cost us 13 bucks to ship. So it really was a great flip. It was not bad whatsoever. Military stuff is tough. Some of it can go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Others is just worthless. Literally, you have to remember that a lot of this stuff is surplus. So there's a bulk amount of it that people literally can't get rid of. So don't get super excited when you find something military related. You really need to learn what sells and what doesn't. A lot of things from the Vietnam and the Korean War eras do sell well compared to World War II. Some of that stuff does not sell well whatsoever. So you just be careful with that stuff. Don't get emotional with it. Just understand that it's very, very specific. All right, moving on. Is this just basic Under Armour mock neck workout shirt? There was really nothing special about this, but that's why I'm pointing it out. People pass on these kind of workout shirts and attire all the time for some reason at thrift stores when they do sell pretty well. I mean, we got $19.55 for this and we paid $7.10 for it. Now, most likely I paid less. I probably paid $4 for this, but I average everything that I buy out. So if I go to a thrift store, I don't say this thing cost me 20 bucks, this cost me $5, this cost me $1. I'll take a running average of everything and that's just how I input it. So I may have not actually paid $7 for this when I actually know I didn't pay $7, but that is the average price. But even so, it's still a nice little flip from, $7 to $19.55 with first class shipping. It didn't cost that much. So it's still a $8 profit on something just super simple. Don't pass on this stuff. Make sure it's in good condition. Don't get anything junky. The more patterns, the better. If you could find something a little bit more interesting than just a plain black one, those will typically go for a little bit more money. This brand, Jamie Sadok, I learned about this a while ago. It's just one of those brands that not a lot of resellers know about. I've never heard anyone talk about this brand before. This was just a long sleeve shirt. We paid $7.02 for it and it sold pretty fast for 30 bucks. And I mean, I think the next day or something like that. Maybe I underpriced it a little bit, but still, be on the lookout for this brand. Be on the lookout for any sort of nicer golf attire. That's stuff really always sells well, especially coming into springtime. All right, if you followed me at all and you've watched these What Sold videos, I highly suggest you guys get into cycling clothing. It is a very overlooked category at thrift stores and you can make some money with it. Now these are just some basic Pearl Izumi cycling padded shorts. These again, they weren't that special, just the basic padding. These sell all day for like 17 to 25 bucks depending on the condition and style. Now some of them go for way more money if it's like a brand like Castelli or something a little bit more high end than Pearl Izumi. But this is a nice little flip. We paid $5.25 for them. They sold for $21.25, and again, they're going first class, so shipping was super cheap. Be on the lookout for these, but just make sure you get them in good quality. Always check the seat area. If there's heavy pilling, if there's any sort of holes, just automatically pass on them. Remember, people are using these to protect their rumps, so they need to be in good condition. All right, these next cargo pants are super basic. These are just basic khaki Levi cargo pants. Now, I'm showing you these because people love cargo pants. I don't know what it is, but people love cargo pants on eBay. We paid $7.02 for these and they sold for 29 bucks. Again, instantly. It was like, I think 2 days or so they were listed and they sold. With these, like anything else, just make sure they're in good condition. And one thing I learned is the heavier the pant and like the more cargo pockets, typically the more money you can get. There's some just cargo pants you can get like 70 bucks for. It's really insane. So if you find like a really, really heavy pair of cargo pants from like a brand like Ralph Lauren and they look super military style, those can go for a lot of money. Again, these are just super basic. I just wanted to show you guys that, you know, something like this can sell quite quickly for decent money. Just again, make sure they're in good shape, avoid any heavy stains. A little bit of wear on the hem is okay, but really anything more than that, I start passing on pants. All right, so when it comes to Under Armour and like these basic brands like Nike and, you know, Adidas and stuff like that, you need to find the sub lines of each single brand that actually do bring a little bit more money. So for Under Armour, it's things like Threadborne and the Storm series, and then like their hunting and fishing stuff. Those items do really, really well. That's what this is. This is a Threadborne series, quarter zip kind of long sleeve shirt. There's the Threadborne. You can't see it all the way in the photo, but it'll always just say Threadborne up there. Again, when it comes to this kind of stuff, it's activewear. Make sure it's in good shape. Avoid anything that's beat up. I keep repeating that, but people, I just want to beat that into your heads. When you're buying this kind of activewear stuff, it needs to be in fantastic shape, or else people just won't buy it or you won't make any money on it. Now we paid $7.20 for this and it sold for $21.25. So again, nice little flip. And again, I probably didn't actually pay $7 for this. It was probably cheaper. Great flip either way, shipped first class, really easy sale. All right, so this is an interesting one. This wholesale lot of remotes. There was 81 OEM brand remotes. So these were original manufacturer remotes. These were not generic like junky copies or anything like that. Funny story about these. There's one thrift store in Utah where I walked in one day. I bought a lot of 200 of these for 50 bucks. I even haggled for them. They were like originally like 50 cents a piece. And I told them like, hey, if I bought all of them, can I have them for 50 bucks? And they said, yeah. I listed that whole entire lot and within the same day, I sold them for like 600 something dollars. It was crazy. I went back to that same thrift store like a couple months later and I found these. And I found like another, I think it was like 150 or 120 of them or something like that. Now I've had these for probably, I don't know, a year and a half now. I've been selling them really slowly, maybe like 1 or 2 or 3 a month or so. Really not big money makers. But at the end of the day, I paid about 31 cents per remote and I was selling them for between 10 and 15 bucks or so. We're moving, I needed to liquidate this stuff, so I sold this whole lot for $200. I already made my money back on these remotes a while ago. I sold a bunch of them and like we totally made our money back. These were worth about 25 bucks in this lot and they sold for 200 bucks. Shipping was like 20 something, so it was super cheap. And yeah, nice little sale. Just guys, when you find this kind of stuff, make sure it's original manufacturer stuff. These you can clearly see they're in the bags and they actually have Amazon stickers on them. So they may have came from like an Amazon retailer or someone that was gonna ship them in. I don't know, but they definitely had Amazon SKU numbers on them for FBA. So that's maybe where they came from. Nice little flip. They sold within 2 days of listing, so pretty happy with that. All right, this brand Wall Maker. I have, again, never heard another reseller talk about this brand, so we're gonna talk about it. It's a made in USA, like kind of cowboy frontier style. It's not anything crazy. Wow, that is an awful photo. How did that get so blurry? It's got this little adjuster on the back. It's got suspender buttons. It's a nice little brand to know. It's not going to bring you millions of dollars, but their vest and their pants are desirable. Plenty of people sell them. Even shirts are okay with them. But yeah, look for any sort of like cowboy USA style stuff. People love these things. We paid $7.02 for them and they sold for 30 bucks. Took just a few days to sell, so nice little flip there. All right, this Carhartt jacket. This was definitely an older style one. I'm not sure how old, but it was definitely a little bit older. It was not in the best shape ever. You can see this hood is very matted. It is not in good shape whatsoever, but the rest of the jacket was really clean. The liner was okay. The outside had some dark marks and kind of stuff you would expect from a Carhartt jacket. I did not get 120 bucks for it, unfortunately. I got $88.88 for it. So this guy offered me $77.77. I countered him $88.88 and he bought it for that much. But the only reason I sold it for that much is because I only paid $9 for this jacket. Going back to the whole how I average things out, I know this jacket was like 20 something dollars, but the thrift store was having a sale. I got a bunch of other stuff for cheap, so it really knocked this price down. I'm not gonna complain about that. This was a great sale. I'm real happy about getting 88 bucks for this, and hopefully this guy is happy with it. When it comes to Carhartt, it's okay if it has a few marks. People just don't really care for whatever reason. Carhartt's intended to be worked in for the most part, or just a fashion statement. A few marks is okay. A little bit of wear is okay. Like, people actually like distressing on these kinds of things. Just, yeah, look for the vintage stuff. It does sell a lot better than the more modern stuff, but any jacket from Carhartt is gonna sell well. All right, and then the last thing is this really cool O'Neill jacket. If you follow us on Instagram or TikTok, you've probably already seen this. I just sold it to some guy. This is really cool. This is one of my favorite finds, probably of the year as far as like vintage is concerned, or just cool things in general. I don't really base my business around vintage or finding cool items. It's not what I like to sell whatsoever, but when I do come across it, I obviously buy it. This jacket was not in phenomenal shape. It definitely had some distressing, it had some wear, but it was just really, really cool. We paid $5.47 for it and it sold for 60 bucks. It took a few weeks to sell. I'm happy with 60 bucks. It's cool. The guy's happy. He's gonna take it on a ski trip, he said. And yeah, everyone wins. I wanted to just end on this note because a lot of people kind of pass over these brands like O'Neill and Billabong and maybe Quicksilver. You got to realize that these brands have been around for a long time, and a lot of them do have cult followings in the surf, snow, and skate community. So don't pass on these things. Learn what the vintage ones feel like. Learn what the tags look like. Just overall, understand that there is a market for that. As you can clearly see, getting 60 bucks for this jacket, I mean, it's a pretty good flip. So don't pass on this stuff just because it kind of seems like maybe like a basic surf brand or something. There's definitely a market for it. Learn what sells. So guys, I hope this was helpful. If it was, again, smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, because you're going to miss out if you don't. If you want to support the channel some more, we have a $24.99 course special going on right now where you can get information like this and much, much more to get your eBay journey started. You can check that out in the link below. But until next time, guys, my name's Sebastian. Cheers.